not an easy task. So it took me some time to ponder whether I could communicate what I believe in and what I stand for. It took me some time, so finally I had accepted. That's why I'm here. And today the subject would be the global power, India's rising global power. But I can't talk about entire India because my experiences are confined, though I know a lot about India, but my political experiences or my political realm is only within the state of Andhra Pradesh and the state of Telangana. So I would like to communicate from within Andhra Pradesh and Telangana perspective. But to talk about the global power, first I would like what we lack in our country. There is amazing divisiveness in our country. We don't feel as one unit. For me, the reason why I came into politics was I could see the divisiveness, how it is hampering the progress. And all of us, we believe we belong to one sect, one class, or one region, or one religion, but we don't feel the complete Indianness. We don't feel, for example, the North Indian leadership, they don't know much about South India. For example, Gandhiji traveled all over India. He knows nook and corner of India. Today, how many leaders, either from South or from North, actually know about the entire India? Today, I know more about America or more about West, what's happening in the West than what exactly happening in the eastern part of India has come on Naga and City. My pain is the way we had achieved freedom with a lot of blood and toil, a lot of sacrifices. And the kind of passiveness which society shows. So many problems are there. Recently, I've been to one part of Andhra Pradesh, it's called Srikakulam district. One particular area is called Udam. No one knows, not in the government, they have an idea. For the last 20 years, around more than 20,000 people died out of kidney disease. And it is some kind of, I don't know what exactly causes the kidney disease in the people who are living in that area. No one knows. Even one of the people who came from Harvard and they made some kind of research, but somehow they could not completely zero down this to the problem. And none of the political parties could address the issue. And constantly the people were suffering, they were very poor. And no one their voice was not able to reach the governments. So somehow they had approached me when I went there. And after seeing their pain, after seeing what they're going through, when I addressed the issue, at least the government machinery had moved and trying to do something now. And this is the plight of our nation, and this is the kind of constant attitude what our political leadership does to our country and to our state. And for me, this is deeply pains me. And constantly we feel the pride of our country, and we feel so much always we can show us like the nationalism through a form of cricket, but actually no one addresses the true issues of India. And for me, the pain is all about we really highlight the best of India. But deep down there are so many issues. I'm talking today about India is a global power, a rising power. We talk about the development. India is really developing. We can show the data and statistics say that India is a growth of this percentage and that percentage. But in reality, to whom, to which group this development is actually reaching? And we can promise in every particular situation, they say that they're going to promise, we're going to bring out the moon for you. we're going to show this. But actually, in reality, people don't ask for big things. In 2007, I was working for the political party of an outfit which was established by my brother. When I went there, in a district in Telangana state, it's a complete tribal district. And like any other guys, even my party people told me, please you have to address it, let's go to one of the tribal villages. That's still what we as a party, what we can do for it. And first time, I've seen people struggling because they're saying that we're going to give you the best schools, we're going to give you the best education, we're going to do that. And after all the election rhetoric. So for some time, there was an old lady who was like, blinded right from her childhood. She was around 60-year-old. And for some till then, I never knew people without eyeballs actually they can try. It never came to my experience as not a science student to understand. First time that lady was trying, I said, guys, I don't know what you're going to do, but we need just water. They're requesting for to have a basic water, nothing else. We don't want anything. We need drinking water. To get the drinking water, we have to go all the way to a few kilometers away and we study. Could you get us water? That deeply pain. But like, I heard about it. I went back to the constituency. And they put it just a few kilometers away. I'm talking about from that place is the next meeting I went, it was of 60 kilometers away. And they put this kind of mineral water in front of me. And I felt so guilty. They're lacking of water. Here I get a mineral water. I felt like a criminal. And I was somehow, I lost interest in the political process. I only told my friends and someone who were following me, I said, can we do something till we get into whether we don't know whether we're going to win or not, but at least can we do something about it? And luckily, a few friends came forward and some who could identify the water bodies underground, they were there. And within no time, they could dig a borehole. In the next 1 week, they had drinking water there. What I'm trying to tell you is, if I, as an individual, if I could do that much, can you imagine the power of machinery? Can you imagine the power of government? What they're capable of doing? Then I said, what made them not to go ahead and do it? Because nobody, not that I'm saying the entire political class is like that, but majority, they don't have great interest. For them, what is the next move? What is the next way to earn, to get benefits? It is like the apple polishing attitude of a political class is really denying the development of the underprivileged. And this is what really pains me. And if you ask me to talk about how the global emergence of, how India can rise as a global power, I don't have that kind of experience. And there are enough experts, there are enough intellectuals out there who has a better idea about it. What I can say is, I can speak on behalf of common men, because I have been there, I lived there, and I come from a lower middle class background. And finally I became an actor, and I would like to address these issues. And so that I know the pain of each one. And we talk about women empowerment. For me, there are a few key issues which I would like to bring it to your notice today. One is about the women empowerment. There is heavy budget for everyone and everything. And women empowerment, in our schools, there is no personal hygiene for growing girl children. And they have enough money and somehow does not reach them. That's the problem there. And today we want, women are the biggest force. We want to empower women. And first of all, you have to give them a healthy lifestyle. Even the so-called social welfare hospitals are there. And they're heavily being neglected. And these are the issues which are burning issues. And also the major problem in India is the women's safety.
The women's safety is such a big concern. And what Gandhi says, in the middle of the night, a woman could really walk, that would be the right. That's where we have achieved the freedoms. But in reality, even in daytime, if someone has to go, there's quite a risky situations are there, even in my own kith and kin, what they go through. So for me, what I wanted to do is, first of all, we should have a great, very powerful law and order situation should be there. Law and order should be really control, have a great say in safeguarding women. To get one Nirbhaya Act, when I say it is passiveness which really pulls back India. To get one Nirbhaya Act, because right from my childhood I had seen, because I grew up with my sisters and aunts, I know that how they used to suffer. They never used to feel safe to go out on the roads. To get one Nirbhaya Act, it took government for 60 years plus. That has to happen in Delhi. Unless it happens in Delhi, they don't wake up. Everything cannot happen in Delhi to make them understand. They have to feel the country, they have to feel the pulse of the country, they have to feel the pulse of the people, which is missing. And recently I was talking about for example, the state has been divided, like we come from unified Andhra Pradesh, and the state has been divided. What they did was, right from 69 to 72, both the states want to get separated. This is an example I'm saying how the complacent attitude of our political class. It took them from 69 to 72, both the states wanted to get separated. They wanted to have their independent state. But somehow the central government said, they made them to be together. After some time, they had their own problems. Different because they could never, whatever they had promised to make them together, no one had fulfilled. So what exactly happened? Within no time, by the time I was growing, they started making, imagine the same language. They speak the same language. Just the dialect is different. And they started, and a lot of, the problem is, whatever they had been promised, it was not fulfilled. Suddenly the anger was being shown on another region people, which is no part of theirs. I don't belong to the generation. I don't know what exactly happened around 40 years back. It was not under my control. But I'm facing the problem today. Somehow, it is quite painful because why? We will say India has to be one. We should feel the oneness here. One way they say in India, the constitution says we should be together. We should be as one individual entity and force. But in reality, they keep on dividing. As long as the divisive politics and vote bank politics are there, these kind of issues keep arising, and India's progress will be taking a back step. We go one step forward with this kind of divisive and vote bank politics, constantly constantly looking at people as a vote bank. For me, I know a lot of political leaders. They don't look at people as people. People are filled with emotions, people are filled with a lot of pain, people are filled with love. But what they look at them is, that's my vote bank. This particular caste is my vote bank. The particular region is my vote bank. They don't see them as humans. In politics, we should get a human angle. They are filled with emotion, they are filled with love and affection. We have to address that issue. Unless we address the individual as, we have to recognize as individuals, not as a vote bank. Till we do it, India is going to get affected by this kind of divisive politics, this kind of vote bank politics. And after seeing this, because for me, the reason why I came into politics was, I don't want another generation, the future generations has to suffer like me. I don't want them to suffer. Today I live a comfortable life. There's no need for me to come. But I said, for me, I felt like a service. I can't ignore. I'm a thinking man. I said, I feel painful. I feel extremely sad looking at the light of the situation. somehow what best I can do. I don't have strength, I don't belong to any huge political party, I'm not extremely rich. But I said, what best I can do within my means? Then I established the party and I started highlighting each and every issue. Knowingly, getting into politics is like it's a battle which cannot be won, and a destination which cannot be reached. I know it, and still I came into politics to serve my nation and to serve our people. When we talk about development, we should understand we have to define development. Development is for each individual means different. For me, a lady in Adilabad, her development is only water and creativity. That's her development. For someone else, it is another kind of development. Maybe a housewife, it is nothing but to get her TV all right. And for a student, maybe a simple student, he needs a playground to play. This is what development means. Here we say that India is rising, India is achieving great standards, but the standards are not reaching to the majority of our Indians. And that's why you can see, even in Tamil Nadu, or other states, we have to understand why these large youthful protests are happening. Today we talk about the dividend. The great people of 19 to 20 demographic dividend. We want to reap the demographic dividend. But actually in reality, what exactly we are doing for them? People don't do anything for them. They just plan. They keep on saying so many things. They keep on like, we're going to do for this, we're going to do for youth. They announce a lot of measures, but actually in reality, how much it is translating to whom it is reaching through different things. That's why today, if you look at Tamil Nadu, I don't know how many of you know about it, lakhs of people came for Jallikattu, which is a traditional game of Tamils, to tame a bull. But the undercurrent reality which I was there a few months before, they were saying that there is amazing restlessness in our state because the political situation is so volatile and no one is focusing on the ground. And it's very soon they're going to vent out in a different form, we don't know in which form. And we could see that Jallikattu we should not see as a mere anger on taming the bull, like, when the Supreme Court said against taming the bull. It's not just about that, it is their frustration. You want to reap the demographic dividend, unless we identify them, we recognize them, and unless we channelize their energy, till now, India is going to see a rise of this kind of protest, including Andhra Pradesh, including Telangana, and including even recently I had seen in Gujarat. This is what is going to happen. This has to be addressed. And we talk about, and one more thing India has to focus is on education. And we look at most of the India is rural India and urban India. In urban there are a lot of sectors. And if you look at each school, the urban schools, there is no one out there. There are no right playgrounds, there are no right facilities. Including when I was growing up, I now had a playground in my own school. I thought it was confined to my times, it was confined to them, but actually even if you look at it right now, all the urban areas doesn't have a playground. And here we want to reap the advantage of demographic dividend, yet we can't even provide a basic playground to our own children. And not even a state government or a central government actually doesn't look at it. In which way, if we keep on ignoring all this, in which way we're going to reap the demographic dividend, in which way we can raise to reach that, how can we become the global power if we don't correct ourselves? My purpose is not to undermine, but unless we highlight our issues, unless we highlight our flaws, what exactly are happening, unless we correct them, it's going to be a difficult challenge. What's happening in our country is, as progress, we take one step forward and we create a situation, we go back 2 steps. That's what is happening in our country. For example, demonetization. We are going at such a beautiful pace, and the demonetization announced. What happened was, in my own 100 people died within our country. And all these people who died were nothing to do with the law. They were not corrupt. They were simple, middle class, hard-working people, and they are the ones who died. And including in my own state, a man who going to get some money from the banks, just staying in a queue for 2 days to get his money drawn, to draw his money, to withdraw his money, waited for so many hours, and he died of a heart attack. And these are the things which are actually hampering the growth of our nation, because without doing the proper exercise, if you try to enforce this kind of laws, this kind of situation, pass this kind of laws, the damage is going to be much more. And these are the things which all of us have to address. And today we talk about, you have to understand the kind of political demonetization actually is aimed for people for black money. Who has the black money? It is not an average Indian citizen has black money. In which way they're going to get the money? It is from normally in irrigation projects. The real big irrigation projects in lakhs of crores or thousands of crores are very, very small project. But the money, the major money would be taken away from the project. It goes into the certain groups, certain people who are more closer to the political class, or who are nearer to closer to governments. The money goes to them. And they are the ones who are storing the money. And imagine recently when they said voluntary disclosure scheme in the central government of India announced. And from my own state, the guy says, I have 10,000 crores to announce. You ask them, I said, from where the guy gets money from? It is a collection of, it is like he is the center point. He's just a face for a lot of political people who siphoned off a lot of national wealth and kept with him, and they wanted to project him as the man, that he's the one. But actually, the money belongs to a lot of politicians who had siphoned off money from the irrigation projects. And there is no check on that. And we can't enforce laws on them. The mass demonetization by doing it, who have got affected, the normal men, but the real culprits already, they're free, they have nothing to do with it, they're happy on the courts. And no one is going to do anything to them. And this is the plight of our country. And with all this, in which way, unless we correct all this, it is very difficult for us to go ahead and to become global power. Unless we correct this, unless we correct the problems within our country, unless we punish the people who are the perpetrators and who are the ones who siphons of this national wealth, and it's going to be very difficult to reach the target of being a global power. And for me, the biggest thing in our country is the law is applied weakly to the strong and strongly to the weak. And so many incidents are there. A person shoots, it can get away. Imagine a simple guy, a normal guy who comes, even in a one way, without a helmet, he'll be punished so hard. But real people who has influence, who has that political affiliation, they shoot people and they get a very nominal punishment. So most of the cases don't even go to the courts. Somewhere they're confined to hospitals. That's it, they don't go beyond that. And this is what happens in our country. And people who cheat banks, and they're completely having shoulder to shoulder with leaders. And in which way we can enforce? In which way we can control people? In which way we can make people listen? Because the top, who are the top of the pyramid, if they themselves are doing mistakes, in which way people are going to listen to it? And also the way people loot the national treasure, the way the people loot the wealth of the nation, including recently said a few years back, if you look at in Ballari, there are a lot of mines who are supposed to pay a lot of taxes and extract the iron ore. What they did was they take permission for a small ore or a small mining area, and they were excavating the entire area without paying taxes. The taxes, the paid, which is supposed to go to banks, which is supposed to go to government, and it is going into the pockets, and the development is taking a back step there. And those are the guys who are taking the shelter of politicians. And unless we correct all this, India is going to get affected. It is going to be pulling down. It's going to be pulling down for a country which wants to emerge as a superpower. Unless we correct ourselves, these are the issues which have to be handled. And as I said, law and order is the issue. And the greatest challenge in India is to promote tourism. And there's a great possibility within our diversified cultures and vast kind of geographic advantage we have the less tourist percentage. The reason being, one is as a culture, we don't welcome, though we can really welcome people to make them as stakeholders. The major problem is the safety. Unless we seek great security, a great safety for the tourists, unless we strengthen the civil society, we can't be controlled. Only police cannot do that. Unless the civil society gets strengthened, unless we make everyone as a stakeholder to give the kind of protection for the tourists in different aspects, and if we make them as stakeholders, that will be a great advantage. And for me, if we want India to be really at the top of the tourism, we have to really enforce very stringent laws to safeguard women. And women's safety is a priority even for the tourists. Unless we feel that, unless we create that image out of India, Indian tourism will get affected. And Indian government and people, and as a stakeholder, really should focus on the women's safety and also for the safety of tourists who come to India. And that is going to give a great boost to our tourism.
Pawan Kalyan. Democratic comrade. Vanitha.
See, for me, the youth leadership, today we won't talk about the demographic dividend. For me, what I'm doing is, every party looks at youth as going to vote bank. In reality, in India, youth means politicians and their families and their grandchildren and their grandchildren. There is no need. So for me, my biggest challenge, which I'm struggling, which I'm inspiring, which I'm welcomed, is how to build up that youth leadership. And if you have to understand, there is a great capacity in Indian. We not just see them as individuals or workforce. They are the creative force of our country. They are the driving force of our country. And that's what the force has to be done. Unless we inspire them, unless we become the leading examples, unless we become the embodiment of what we believe in, they are not going to come forward. And for me, every party should look at youth as someone, as a creative force, not just as a vote bank. That's what I believe in, and that's what I'm striving up. That's what I'm trying to do in 2019 for tourism. And in spite of all these adverse conditions what we have, for me, always a belief in the saying that adversity leads to character. With all these challenges, I still believe if we become as one, we can be the global power, and whatever our intentions are, wherever we want to reach, we can be really the guiding force for this world. And then one major thing which I would like to say, and I would like to close it is, the Telangana and Andhra, because I keep on referring to these issues on purpose. One of the senior political leaders said, though both the states were together as one unit, but as a culture they haven't merged. Entire India, though they say as one, still they don't have the cultural integrity, which is very essential. For me, I keep on addressing these issues in time to time. A guy in Bihar, a guy in UP, don't know much about southern part of India. They don't know much about Tamil Nadu. The leaders are talking about. And also at the same time, like people from southern states, they don't have a great idea about what's happening there. This is the way, unless we integrate our cultures. We have a maximum power to understand Germany. We have the responses to understand France. We don't have any kind of cultural centers within our India to understand each other, which is the essential. Which is really important. The reason is that re-emerging, like the recrudescence of identity politics is on the rise. This is going to impact the integrity of the nation. Unless our leaders and our political parties come together as one unit, unless they don't address these cultural differences and identity, and it's going to create a lot of problems. And that's the reason I want to bring it to your notice as a culturally, somehow all of us should make an effort to understand each other, which is really needed to feel as one India and to make it to take it to a global level. Really the kind of global power we are looking at to become the global power, unless we feel as one, unless we culturally we are as one unit, it would be very difficult to take it forward. And before finishing this, India is a caste society. Whatever happens, that in fact recently I was talking about women say they keep saying in Bangalore, a woman was being molested in the middle of the road, and the onlookers were just looking at it as if they're not part of it. None has the guts, none has the courage, and none has any strength. One single guy is doing it. It was touched, but no one has the strength. Can you understand what is crippling our Indian society is that abstinence? How the passionate has to be addressed unless our leaders, the problem is in assemblies, when parliament, the elected representatives watch photography, when sessions were going on. So what kind of message people get? This is what that's how it doesn't seem at a street level. For me, this is what we have to address the issue. Unless, for me, democracy is something all of us, it's very easy to comment. It's very easy to say this is wrong, this is not possible. Million people can comment, but how many people actually can come onto the roads and participate in building of our democracy? How many people actually come physically? It's very easy. It's nice to be on the internet and on the Facebook to express your opinion. But in reality, if you come onto the roads, people are there to threaten you, people are there to intimidate you, and which keeps happening. They keep threatening you, they keep saying that you feel like you keep on expressing anything, and one day we're going to harm you. I said, I'm fine, but I'm not going to stop. There is a business of very society. There are problems in society. If you want to bump me out, if you want to kill me, I'm fine, I'm ready for it. I'm prepared. No, because this is the love of the nation, because I don't want the future generations to suffer unless someone, within my capacity, what best I can do, I will do. So before finishing this, I would like to say that to tell you the greatness of our country, to feel what we live, because there's one of my favorite poets is there in Telugu. His name is Seshendra. He passed away in 2006. His works were shortlisted for Nobel Prize. I would like to say the first in Telugu. Parvatam epadiki ungi salam cheyadu. Swami was a system of the సముద్రం ఒకటి కాళ్ళ దగ్గర కూర్చొని ఉండదు. నేనంతా అక్కడికి మట్టే కావచ్చు, కానీ తలవంతున్న ఒక దేశం జెండా కొట్టుకోవాలి. roaring typhoon's voice will never be subservient. The deep ocean never barks at anyone. Maybe in a handful of dust, but if I raise my voice, you will see the pride and strength in me of the national flag. One thing that I can say about the before finishing, let me say this. India stands for Dharma. India stands for truth. We are the land of Himalayas and historical vineyards. We love everyone, but we fear none. We respect everyone, but we surrender to none. Thank you. Bharat Mata Ki.
So you can start that.
And with first of all, they need a hope to survive. They want to survive. So what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a self-help groups where they can go to the farmers who are in a depressing situation. They're going to address them. And they're going to, sometimes it's a form of money, sometimes it's a kind word, sometimes maybe supporting in different ways. That's what I'm trying to do, and which I will see the You spoke about right-wing ideology, you talked about extremist ideology. That's a problem in our country. India is a complex country. There are so many verticals, there are so many thoughts, prevailing thoughts in the society. Not one ideology is going to unite all of us. The problem is we have to understand one left wing and one right wing doesn't really help India. Somewhere, understand you have to be on a middle path. You have to understand both the extremes. The problem is when you're saying where is the need for a right wing? In right wing, if you're a fundamentalist of any religion, it could be any religion. For example, I don't want to name the man, individual or name the religion, but the man was really putting down one religion, gods of one religion. And for me, you're hurting my interest, you're hurting the gods and religions. And now, the problem is, none of the parties, because they do vote bank politics, they don't want to condemn another guy because they're going to lose the vote bank. They won't say it. So who steps in? The right wing steps in to cut down that. So normally people go and get a clap. When there come if people who are very neutral, who can see at a very objective level, if someone is doing a mistake, irrespective whether I believe in an ideology, you are to my tribe, you have to condemn it. That's what is lacking in our country because of your vote bank attitude. And you're talking about the same gender, third gender. See, in India still, it's very painful. Yesterday I had heard of festival like this, Kalki Subramanian. It is very painful. In fact, I was giving an interview right now for the students of Harvard. So, there is a women wing in our political parties. There is a men wing in political parties. There is no third gender wing. When I heard a speech yesterday, though I have a lot of empathy for them, first time I felt as a political party, I don't know, as the parties have done it, I want to create a third gender wing to address that.
And thank you. Sir, my name is Ramarao Guru. I really like your stance to fight for the special status of Andhra Pradesh. And I would like to share some quick ideas, in one sentence. Please go. We are united international movement by the rules for the special status of Andhra Pradesh.
See, for me,
Here I am not talking about the discrete protests in some of the countries, off and on. But it should be united.
Okay. I got it. No. See, special status issue. When government promises something, better they stand for it. If they can't stand for it, at least let them say why not able to stand by it? But simply just because you're there in the power and you can't throw your weight around and you say we can't do it. For this special status, you have the word taken back, and there is no humility in them why they are not able to give it, and that's what works me. And that's what I'm fighting for. For me, whether you give it or not is the secondary. First, you are accountable, and you promised us if you're going back on your word, better come to us and tell us why you're going back. And that's what I'm fighting for.
Hello, my name is Pawan. I'm from Hyderabad. I'm a big admirer of you, and my question to you is, you have encouraged youth in politics, and many of us are here because we have started a party named as Jansena.
I have limitations to canvas for the entire country, because for me, primarily what I'm trying to put the stage, though a lot of connectivity around the world and the entire country, but primarily focusing on both the states as state of Karnataka and partly Tamil Nadu. And all over, there's a lot of youngsters who would like to be in politics, who would like to take it, not just everyone at a state level, maybe in their mandal level, at a town level, at a town level, they want to be in it. So what I'm trying to create is I'm trying to, first of all, right now for the last 3 years I'm addressing issues because I want to walk what I'm talking about. Unless I walk the talk, first of all I don't want to put you at risk. I want you to believe me, okay, I'm capable of what I'm saying. And unless I walk the talk, I don't want to do anything. So right now, 3 years I've been doing it. Now, maybe a few 6 months from now, I'm creating that kind of platforms where enthusiasts like you or people like you will get an opportunity to attend a leadership program. So that's what
We want to take part in development.
I'll reach out to you. I will reach out to you.
What's your long-term plan to make sure?
Whatever ideas you believe in, take it forward. Whatever might happen to you, face it. Take it forward. Like I said, be the living embodiment of principles and values. Rest everything forward. That's what I think. Okay, how I look at this, the way I sensitize myself. I never had any political background or political connection. And I was studying society. I was studying each and every situation that was happening in front of me. Right from a very trivial incident. So I was trying to understand. And at the same time, there's a confusion in one of them saying, like, which idea, what is the right ideology? For me, always it's a middle ground. Because it's not about today I'm there, tomorrow I'm not going to be there. The problem is, you have to be consistent. Today I'm trying to say something, it's not that today if I'm not there, I don't want you to get dampen your spirits. Whether I'm there in the political field or not, I said, whatever you believe in, take it forward within your own sphere. And how much ever you're capable of doing. Maybe sometimes it's just a word. Sometimes a simple action is enough for you. Not necessarily you have to do everything that's forward. Even a small thing can help you. No, for me not just a personal promotion. There are enough isms in this universe. For me it's not that. Whatever is good, there are enough principles and values which were living embodiments like Gandhiji and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. They are enough for us. We can follow them and we can do the right things to, we can make right things happen to our country and society. So unless I carry my ideology forward, if I won't be doing what I was doing, I wouldn't have come to it. And any growth is organic. It can't happen overnight. For me, there is progress is there. And what you're saying is to highlight the educational issues and health issues, what kind of policy. For me, I have to bring in a lot of stakeholders who has the expertise and who has the experience. So I'm creating a common platform. So for example, the reason why I'm coming into this kind of platform is to meet people like you, to make you understand, maybe in this way I can connect what kind of people are there. So I'm going to create through Genesis that kind of platform where you can come and function. Do you think you're just me alone? Do you think I'm able to come this far without any support? It's a lot of much. Even if I find 175 honest candidates, get corrupted. So in which way we can confine them, we can confine them to be honest is, unless the youth are active, if they do a mistake, they will be bombarded and they will be questioned by the entire voters surrounded. Then only they can confine to, they can be honest. Otherwise, they are bound to get corrupted. And it's a human mind. Human mind is bound to get corrupted unless you have discipline. So, don't you think that problem should be? I have respect, but I don't want to convince anyone. Because for me, today, and not that I want to convince anyone, out of love of my nationality, whether someone is going to believe me or not, I'm going to do it, whether you're going to follow me or not, I'm going to do it. Eradicate any issue, it's not an easy job. You have to be pragmatic. And though I have the will, though I have the heart to do it, unless I create a lot of stakeholders to address the issue, it will take time. Which will be headed by Mehul Jain of Harvard, and I'm going to tweet his whereabouts. So he will be the contact point for all of you. Yeah, unless I'm creating another organization, and should be, he's one of the prominent people who would take it over. Our nation and commitment to society. Back in India. It's not money, it's your wealth, your good thought.
We are closely to